What's up, everybody? Welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28. That's the one, the only. It's Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, we've got a good week ahead of us. We're all getting down to business, and it's a good feeling.
Absolutely. You can all join us live right now over on twitch.tv/theofficialitg, as well as YouTube. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, coming up on today's show, dude, we got a banger of a show. We learn more about what's in store for Aloy and her journey. Batman could be fighting Gandalf. That was a weird one. We'll see what happens. And there's rumors flying around about Fallout New Vegas 2. Dude, could we be getting the next game for New Vegas? I know a lot of people have been kind of clamoring for one, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, here's hoping on my part. Oh, and Vegas 2, that's a good solid sequel. I think a lot stronger than 76 2 would be.
Yeah, that's very possible, dude. I went over to the world of PlayStation Blog and grabbed like one of the biggest breakdowns they've ever had over there. There's a ton of stuff going on in the world of Horizon Forbidden West. We've got new details on Aloy's new abilities and stuff. I pulled just kind of certain parts and I kind of broke it up because there's that much content to cover. So we're going to start with the traveling through Forbidden West. Building upon the foundation of Horizon Zero Dawn, we've added a number of new ways to move through the world, said David McMullen, lead systems designer at Gorilla. Aloy can now climb freely across huge sections of rocky terrain. Even more machine types can be used as mounts. Grapple points can be found throughout the environment, which allows agile verticality, traversal. Swimming underwater has opened up a whole new aspect of exploration. And gliding with the shield wing provides the ultimate view of the beautiful world of Horizon Forbidden West. Dude, that right there sets the tone of where my hype level have just shot right through the roof. I cannot wait. Probably one of my most anticipated games of last year switched into next year.
Oh yeah, we've seen some of the footage that they've released before, and
Sick.
wow,
Dude,
are they
so
really
good.
stacking this world up to be something formidable? And it's kind of giving me a feeling like a Breath of the Wild, but with a lot harsher, kind of grittier combat. It's looking to be something very interesting.
So this is probably the biggest portion of the article I want to talk about the most, because they talked about how they can climb freely across huge sections of rocky terrain. I kind of got this sense of almost like an Assassin's Creed feeling, but you have grapple points as well within like more vertical challenged areas, I guess, in that sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh no, it sounds like they're gonna use some new mechanics. Everywhere is getting a grappling hook, even Master Chief. But yeah. I am here for it.
Well, that's funny because I was thinking the same thing this morning as I'm reading this article, going, "Dude, Chief's got this too." Like we just saw it yesterday on their announcement and gameplay footage for the campaign. It was funny how now everybody seems to be, here's a grappling hook, and now it's here as well for Aloy. Underwater opportunities, Scott. One of my things I hate the most is going underwater in video games because I feel trapped. I really do. I feel like you can't get away from things, right? And that's my it's almost like a fear, I guess, in the world when I'm playing video games. I hated it back in the day on Mario when you're swimming through the world, and I'm not looking forward to swimming underwater in Aloy, but it did look beautiful.
I was thinking Mario, but then, it was a short 20 years ago that Ocarina of Time really punished me with the water temple. But that does lead to some really good gameplay kind of things that you can't do above water. So I'm hoping that they really expand on that aspect of the environment and they drop in a lot of different machines. The possibilities are really good.
Well, that's the other thing too, is that the type of mounts we can get now are good. It sounds like they're gonna be a lot more compared to what we had in the last game. Zero Dawn didn't have too many that we could actually use as a means of a vehicle, in a sense, you know what I mean? So we were pretty limited over there, and it sounds like we can maybe expand on that Horizon in this game. The DualSense wireless controller is heavily featured throughout our mechanics, said David. From the scrape of rubble as you brush a crate. Dude, the scrape of rubble on a crate to the sensation of unraveling a winch as you use the polecaster, with the increased adaptive trigger tension as you pull. It's, oh man, I'm telling you, this DualSense is adding just that other dimension in the world of video games. We've also added extra tactile dimensions to increase both gameplay value and feeling of being a part of a world Aloy is moving around in. These can be subtle as sensation of grass brushing around you to indicate you are entering stealth grass. Oh man. Or the pop of the adaptive trigger as you reach maximum draw with a bow. We even use the absence of adaptive tension to help communicate when you're out of ammo. Scott, dude.
Oh, that's really cool.
Wow. Like, I'm so excited. 2 paragraphs in, and I'm telling you, we're not even like scratching the surface here of this article yet. It is so cool. My hype is absolutely through the roof. The controller is really going to bring that extra sense of awareness to the game mechanic that we've never had in the past. Dude, to know that you're in stealth grass, right? Like, that's what a, never heard that term before, I guess, but it's that's how the feedback works in the world of this controller, right? The DualSense has really stepped up PlayStation's gameplay mechanics, and we talk about it all the time. Like, dude, I always go back to Returnal because that's one of the ones I think that really impacted me the most, was that I could feel the raindrops right on the suit.
Yeah, am I feeling mist right now?
Well, exactly. So now we're getting into you can feel the grass, or you know when you're out of ammo just by the controller, not by a click of the sound, or you look down and go, oh man, I'm out of ammo. Like, you know, how many times we use that mechanic? Oh, you have 0, click, and it's empty, right? Now it's, you can feel it just with the trigger alone. Such a cool turnaround. And like, you always wonder, what can they innovate on next? And we've seen, we've seen the dual analog sticks, then go to the PlayStation 3 controllers. They had Rumble in, I believe, PlayStation 1 controller by the end of that life cycle, or PlayStation 2. I can't remember. It's been so long now. And then they add, for PS4, they had the touchpad, which was kind of hit or miss. Like, some developers used it, some didn't. I really liked it. To click on it and pulls up the map. It's just kind of.
They had that 6-axis arrow control. I remember
that was
some of the games too.
That was, I think, PlayStation 3, the 6-axis controller. That's what that was, right? So you grab it and you tilt the controller. It was such a gimmick. Honestly, it was such a gimmick, but whatever, it was what it was. And then, yeah, you get into PlayStation 4, you get a touchpad. Now you get into PlayStation 5, you have a DualSense controller, and that just, man, have they ever shifted that controller? I often use Xbox's Elite controller, which is starting to die on me. Dude, I got a rattle in my controller. It's a heartbreak.
Oh no.
It sucks. It really sucks. So I'm gonna have to go get another one. But either way, it's when you move forward, we've seen Xbox go from that big Duke controller to more streamlined and other things, but they haven't really innovated on the controller as much as PlayStation has. PlayStation's always changing up the formula, right? Some people are like, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I get it. But man, when you play DualSense and then you get into this stealth grass, you get the trigger, you get the tension of the bow, like Kena Bridge of Spirits. Dude, the minute you pull that bow back in the bow and arrow, you can feel like the pressure, click, 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 and then, oh, wow. It is absolutely awesome. Let's get into the next topic they had here, exploration. The free climbing system in Horizon Forbidden West is a huge feature we are extremely excited about, as it allowed us to make large sections of terrain climbable. Again, back to the Assassin's Creed-esque feel, where I'm kind of seeing a lot of this go now, right? Where it makes sense visually and narratively in a way not previously possible in Horizon Zero Dawn. Rocky surfaces in these areas are freely climbable without the use of tribal handholds. But yet, if you take a look at the demo gameplay, dude, there are certain spots that have handholds. Why would they go between handholds and not handholds, Scott?
Yeah, well, they do say that it's a narrative possibility, so maybe there's just sections where you have to climb a mountain and it just gets too rough.
Sure.
But those seem to be closed off sections, if that's to be believed.
Yeah, absolutely. Another addition in the high vault traversal mechanic, which essentially allows Aloy to hoist herself on top of objects of jumpable height with room to pull up. Combine that ability with free climb and adding grapples to the environment, the potential of exploration is greatly increased. And let's not also forget that you have the ability to use that glider too, which is coming up in the combat side of things, which will allow us to traverse a little bit more freely, I think. The Polecaster is a mechanic wrist-mounted device with two separate functions, David explains. The first function is a grapple mechanic, allowing the player to swiftly and easily ascend the environment, providing a dynamic traversal and escape option to the player. When grappling, the player can activate the launch, throwing them into the air where they can grab a higher ledge, fire their bow, glide, strike from above, or even grapple to a further point. Dude, like you're going to be bouncing all over the place. It sounds pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
The second function is the Polecaster is a winch, meaning the player can dynamically manipulate, move, or destroy the objects in the environment. Think about pulling a hidden loot chest from a ledge, or tearing open an event, right? That's that kind of scenario. And again, they also have the shield wing, where we can use that glider mechanic too. So you can use a grapple hook, toss yourself up, and then pull out your glider. Man, they're really stepping it up, Scott.
Yeah, well, it sounds like another 2 iterations of this series, and we'll be Spider-Man fighting the mechanical menace. And I'm down for that, though.
Yeah, I'm not complaining whatsoever, right? If we move on to the combat real quick, in Horizon Zero Dawn, skills were brought and unlocked as you level up. Dennis, he's one of the guys working on the mechanics behind the whole combat scenario. While the principle remains in the sequel, we completely redesigned the skill tree with additional tracks and skills. Within the skill tree, skills also synergize with those that are either already present on outfits or need to be unlocked on them. So they're stepping that up as well. They have other tools, mechanics. Go read the article. There's a lot going on in that world, Scott. And definitely pretty hyped and excited, man. What do you think about moving forward with the new Horizon Forbidden West? Just with these little bits of information so far.
Oh, I think that's shaping up to be a Game of the Year contender for sure. It's got a massive amount of hype around it, and I think it's well justified too.
I think so. Absolutely. Scott, you ready to get into some rumors?
Some of these can be fun.
Oh, man. Okay, it's Batman versus Gandalf and rumored new Warner Brothers fighting game. What? Okay, we finally know who could win in a fight between, well, Gandalf or Batman. This comes from Eddie McCutch over at GameSpot. Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment, the game division of the media giant, might be working on a multiverse-themed platform fighter featuring Batman, Gandalf, and other WB characters duking it out in a Smash Brothers style fighting game. Scott, really?
This is quite silly, but I'm wondering what kind of characters they're going to pull together. The age of Smash Brothers has passed. I think that's
just it, right?
Almost apparent. But between this and the Nicktoons beat 'em up, I think there's new kids on the block.
Well, just it. Over the weekend, a rumor popped up on Reddit regarding a new crossover platform fighting game featuring WB characters. The post said the game was in development at Mortal Kombat Studio NetherRealm. I thought, no way. Dude, there's no way. But reporter Jeff Grubb said that isn't true, though the game is real, Grubb said. Characters in this rumored game are said to include Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, Tom and Jerry, Batman, Fred Flintstone, Mad Max, Johnny Bravo, and potentially Harry Potter and Ron, though their inclusions is not a sure thing, said the report. What?
You've got to strengthen the magic arm of this game.
Oh man, this seems like one of the weirdest we've seen.
Johnny
PlayStation.
Bravo.
Well,
that's my main right there.
You have Smash Brothers. Dude, I don't know if we really need another Smash Brothers-esque like title. We just, as you mentioned, we saw the Nickelodeon one come. I don't know how many people are actually playing that game. We saw PlayStation All-Stars a long time ago. That came and went. Like, I'm curious to see. Is this, if NetherRealm's made this game, the minute someone said NetherRealm, I went, not a chance. No way. No. Dude, right now, they're working on Injustice 3. I'd almost guarantee it. they've got to be working on Injustice 3. They've alternated now over the last few years between Mortal Kombat and Injustice. Who's up next? Injustice 3. Unless they're going to make a whole other game. But because they're partnered with Warner Brothers, it's probably Injustice 3 because it's going to be a DC game. I want that DC Marvel crossover, though, man. There's so many things we could work with here. Woo,
oh,
boy.
Yeah.
But on September 27th, Warner Brothers filed a trademark application for a new game called Multiverses. Whether or not the rumor and multiverses are connected is unknown. Really? This is not... Scott, do you want this fighting game?
This sounds interesting. Not necessarily my kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just in general, not really my favorite genre. But I want to see how things change based on it. I want to see competition pop up.
Sure.
There's a lot of room for innovation on this type of subgenre. And Sony All-Stars, I call it Sony Smash Bros. That was a great contender.
Dude, it was nice so good.
And you need, it's like there's Coke, there's Pepsi, but you need RC Cola to keep them on their toes. And I think that's what we're missing in this subgenre.
That's fair. Dude, I don't know. It's just, I'll watch from the outside in kind of thing. I'm not, this one doesn't sound like it's really up. Fred Flintstone, Mad Max?
Yeah, it's Tom a weird combination there.
Dude, it's all over the place, right? And I think that's the biggest thing is you don't have a set kind of caliber of characters. You're kind of just they just don't seem to match. But again, dude, PlayStation All-Stars had characters all over the place as well. So we'll see what happens. Scott, one thing you are looking forward to is what I think you should take next. This one's all you, buddy.
All right. Well, Fallout New Vegas 2 is in development, says the industry insider, Alex Curtin from Gamer Official. I haven't seen Gamer Official too often, but they're making a lot more news lately. It hasn't been long since Microsoft acquired ZeniMax Media, the parent company of Bethesda, for $7.5 billion. You know they're going to try and make their money back there, but this move saw all of Bethesda's IPs, such as Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Doom, Wolfenstein, and Quake, all join the Xbox family of systems. This opened up the possibility for Fallout New Vegas 2, a game that fans have been begging for. This is because Microsoft already owns the studio behind the original New Vegas, Obsidian Entertainment. Now they own both the original development studio and the license for the Fallout franchise. That's all coming together now.
It certainly is.
Obsidian is currently working on a few other projects at the moment. They have the survival multiplayer game Grounded, as well as Xbox exclusive Avowed. And it hasn't been long since Microsoft acquired ZeniMax. But, well, there's a possibility now. They're going to be working those machines in their favor. And whether ZeniMax, Bethesda, of course they're going to be busy making new projects. But
sure.
Xbox is kind of the producer in the room whispering into their ears.
You should make this. Maybe try this or work on that. And New Vegas is one that people have been looking forward to, or looking for, I should say, for a very long time, right? The New Vegas 1 was so many years ago. I'm not a Fallout guy in the slightest. Nate is our biggest fan each and every week on the weekly show. He always hits us up with a level up for the latest Fallout 76. Keep you on your toes and help you kind of progress through that game, because that game is a grind for sure. But New Vegas 2, Scott, like New Vegas hit so many people and they're just like blown away by it. And we haven't seen New Vegas 2 any rumblings whatsoever. So the fact that maybe this could be your opportunity now, especially if you're Microsoft, right? That's the biggest thing, I think. Hey, you know what? Fans have been looking forward to this. What ideas do you have for New Vegas 2? Can we create this, bring fans in? And Scott, my question then is to you, do they keep it exclusive? Because that's the biggest thing now with this big old purchase. Do you keep these games exclusive, or do you branch them out? Do you put them on the Switch? Do you put them on PC? Well, they will probably go to PC regardless, but do you put them on PlayStation? I think is the bigger question.
Well, I think it's all just pressuring to negotiate with PlayStation. You give us some Spider-Man, we'll open the floodgates.
That's not gonna happen.
Not with Starfield. You can watch Starfield from a distance, but Starfield 2.
Yeah, no.
It would be very, well, not hostile, but very aggressive for them to make it a exclusive. But
Yeah.
at the same time, that's why you spend $7.5 billion.
That's business, right? That's what that is, Scott. It draws people to the Xbox family. If you can only get Fallout New Vegas on one platform, how many people are going to jump ship? Seriously,
Yeah.
like, Bethesda's got a huge following. That was a smart purchase by Microsoft to get them to say, hey, no, we're going to hold Starfield to ourselves. We're going to hold Skyrim to ourselves. You can only get these on one platform. And if you want, you can get it on day one with Game Pass. Right? Like, there's just, wow, Scott. Wow. The potential behind these acquisitions that could just draw the crowd over, because it's always the battle of mind share, right? Like, PlayStation still to this day right now holds the mind share. They've got the God of War. We talked heavily about Horizon Forbidden West and the hype that I'm so excited to behind that. And their first party studios are just nailing it each and every single time. Spider-Man, you can only get it on one platform. So why wouldn't you do that then with the other side, with Xbox, and go, Fallout, you can only get it on one platform. Ours, Xbox, go this way.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just that
that's
competition.
all just a matter of time for the next Elder Scrolls game, because you know that's going to pull a lot of people. Now, new Elder Scrolls, I think, is probably about a whole generation away.
Yep.
But they have lots of projects in development currently. It's Absolutely. A good time, no matter who you are in the three-sided war here.
Yeah.
It's a great time for games.
Absolutely. Scott, why don't we wrap things up? What new releases are out for today?
Oh, we have Iron Harvest for the Xbox Series XS and the PlayStation 5. There is LOL Surprise Movie Night on the Switch. It's a curious title. We have Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC.
Check out my review over at InsideTheGame.ca, because that's live, and I had a lot of fun playing that game.
I have to check it out myself too. I'll be right behind you. There's also NASCAR 21 Ignition. That's coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And you ready for this one? Another simulator title, Workshop Simulator PC. I'm still waiting for Drink Machine Vending Simulator. Not yet.
Dude, I'm blown away at how many simulators we've seen launch over the last year. It started heavily with Goat Simulator, which was a comical relief, right? Like, that thing was just funny because you're just this dumb goat going around booting everybody. And a lot of people had a blast, but then you get into, dude, we've had car mechanic simulator, we've had PC simulator, we had lawnmower simulator, like what?
Gas station simulator.
That was a big one that took off too.
Simulator. That was cool, but surgeon simulator. What's left? There's everything and the kitchen sink simulator. That's this point.
I'm blown away, Scott, that we keep getting these simulators, and they must sell. I've never really played, dude. I didn't play that gas station simulator. I couldn't bring myself to do it, I guess. But a lot of people, dude, you go on Twitch, like, it was on fire. People were all over it, and they're just hanging out, chilling, and renovating their gas station, which is
well, I want to speak to anyone who's played these games. I have questions. I honestly want to get in that mind space and kind of understand what's going on. If anybody has any experience with those games, please hit us up on Twitter. Myself personally at TSavage or the official ITG. I want to get the conversation rolling.
Absolutely. Scott, just like you said, though, they should hit us up on our Twitter at the official ITG. Let's talk about today's show. Submit any questions you may have. Of course, you can also join our Discord as well. That's going to wrap up today's show. It's been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley, and that is Scott Savage. Until tomorrow, everybody, we'll see you inside the game.